Hello, this is Victor Uniform 2 Alpha Zulu Kilo. Name is Kishore. I'm back with yet another video on the assembly of the lithium iron phosphate battery pack. In this video, we shall see how the batteries are assembled together along with the wiring, the battery management system, a couple of connectors and switches, and also how the battery is mounted inside the battery case. Here you can see the BMS wiring for the battery cells and also the connecting cables to the BMS and battery terminals. As discussed in earlier videos, ensure that you have taken adequate care to tape up any exposed terminals during the assembly phase. I've used tiny wiring anchors to route the cables to the BMS, and the generally available Kapton tape is used to wrap up any exposed terminals. And you can see the BMS is mounted like this, in this configuration. So the BMS is actually mounted on plywood pieces that are attached to the acrylic plate on this side, and all the connectors of the BMS are facing upwards. So here you can see the two leads for the temperature sensors. The BMS comes with multiple temperature sensors. Two external temperature sensors that sense the battery temperature. One is coming here on this side, the second cell from top, and the other one is going on the other side to the third cell from top. So this cell on the other side. So that's how it senses the temperature of the cells. And it also has internal temperature sensors. So it looks at a lot of temperature parameters. And if the temperature goes below a certain threshold or above a certain threshold, the BMS will shut down all charging and discharging. It'll just go into sleep until the temperature comes back into the operational range. So that comes in here, and subsequently we have multiple connectors for the on-off switches, and this is the large connector for the balance leads. So each of these is a balance lead that goes to the positive terminals, and there is a negative terminal here, this one, this black one, that starts from this side of the terminal and the connector, and this is how the BMS would sense the voltages of each of these cells. So this particular BMS has active balancing. That means below a certain threshold voltage, the balancer would take over, and whichever cell has a higher voltage would be used to actively balance any other cell that is at a lower voltage. That's how this works. And all of this is configured through a software. I will show you the application also a little later. There's an Android application that allows you to control this BMS. So overall, this BMS controls the charging, discharging, and also balance functionalities. And there's a huge load of parameters that you can adjust to your battery type and your requirement. The next step is to make some holes, a couple of holes in the battery box to accommodate both these switches and connectors. So this switch is used to turn the BMS on or off. That means you can control the supply, battery supply. This one is a 6-pin DIN connector that comes with a nice cap. So you can just put the cap on it. So this one is connected to the battery monitor. So if I were to use this battery pack in my shack in a static mode where I will not be moving it, then I can connect this DIN connector of the battery monitor directly to this one. So if I'm taking it on my field trips, I don't need to use it. So I can just put the cover back on. So to drill these holes, I found that using this step drill was very convenient. Now I don't need to have a number of drill bits for different diameters. So this one takes care of it and does a very good job on plastic and acrylic. In fact, when I was building this common mode choke, inside there's toroids. So when I connected these or put these SO239 connectors, also I use this, found it very convenient. So I would recommend any ham who's into these homebrew projects to buy one of these step drills. So you can get these on Amazon. Very, very useful. So I think these are only the two places where I need to drill holes on the battery pack. Otherwise, this is pretty much waterproof and comes with a waterproof liner on the lid. And for these, I need to, for this particular switch, I need to put some kind of a guard, a switch guard on top at some point. At this stage, I'll just leave it like that. So now the box is ready for putting the battery pack inside. Let me do that, and I will show you how the whole assembled battery pack looks like. Now we've finished the basic assembly. You can see the positive lead coming out. I've used some tags to put the loop together. This is the glass fuse and the holder, and this is the negative terminal, again coiled up. I've left some space, some additional length here on the leads, so that tomorrow I can open the lid of the battery box and do some basic maintenance. Okay, for now these are taped up, so I will connect these to the terminals on the lid shortly. So these straps I've put so that I can lower the entire battery pack into this box. So now I'm going to lift this battery pack and lower it into the battery box. So all the dimensions were earlier measured, so this needs to fit. Now we need to adjust these cables so that it fits perfectly. So you can see that it is sitting properly on the bottom of the battery box. Now we need to adjust these cables in such a way that they don't touch each other or come closer to each other. So this finishes up the next stage of the assembly. So now we have lowered the battery pack into the battery box using these two blue straps, and connected the positive lead to the positive terminal and negative lead to the negative terminal. So both the switches are in place, and you can see both the glass fuses, and all the cables are separated by an air gap, so there's no touching anywhere. So next step is to fit the screws on this lid. I will do that later. First I need to observe for any heat generation, and these are two terminals or binding posts that I will screw onto these terminals here. So these are pretty large, and of course I need to remove them when I move the battery pack for portable operations, and these can be easily fitted back on whenever required. So I will tighten those in a minute, and we are now ready for testing. You will find a few other videos on lithium iron phosphate batteries on my channel. The description has more details, and subscribe and click the bell icon to get more notifications of new videos that I keep adding from time to time. So with that, 73, and enjoy operating in the outdoors.